Hello, everyone. Welcome to the rating show. It is our rating show of our game against GWS on Saturday. How are you all? Hope you're doing well. Yes, congratulations, Sullivan Roby, on your Rising Star nomination. I dare say he stole it from the sore shoulder of Dyson Sharp. Had Dyson Sharp finished that game, I think he would have been getting it, or it would have been a throw both names in the hat and see which one comes out, because I think Sharpie was just as worthy of the nomination as well. So, it still hurts. It still hurts. We haven't heard anything further outside of the dislocation that he obviously had, but it was clearly in when he was running out. That's why I was a bit confused from the actual press release that they said, because he would have known he had it dislocated. No? Anyway. Semantics. Let's get on with it. Hello, Pommy.
How are we doing?
Pretty good. For a Monday, how are you?
I'm good. It'd be nice if I could do one of these on a win. Like shout out Carlton and Essendon. Just one of you win. That'd be good.
Well, we were the last ones to win, so
yeah.
Your turn. Over to you. Over to Carlton.
Yeah, it'd be nice if one of these idiots would win. But, I mean, look, it was an intriguing game, this one, wasn't it? It was an intriguing game. GWS, the media's favourite team, having a bit of a bad year, aren't they?
Your favourite? What do you call them? The frauds? Are they still the frauds? I know that was last year's label.
No, I think everyone knows now the GWS frauds are actually frauds.
Okay. Gotcha.
I'm looking at Gold Coast at the minute. Might be my next fraud team because this year they've got the media bump up. But the Giants, yeah, nearly got it, didn't you? You nearly.
We did. And if I wonder, like, if Sharp hadn't gone off in that third quarter, because our midfield was looking pretty good. It was looking pretty nice with him in it, and then we just lost. We lost the shit. We actually lost the shit in our midfield, and we went back to the combination that is no good. It is absolute junk, and it gives us no centre clearance. It doesn't make it hard for the opposition to get easy centre clearance. Like, they just waltz out of there. I think we all know what combination that is. But on a happier note, Sullivan Roby, I mean, the ceiling of this kid, I just keep thinking how – like, he's not even close to his peak at all. Not even close. And look at the output already. Unbelievable.
Nat 5 2.0, isn't he? Old Natty. On the ball as well. That was nice, wasn't it?
I know.
He's a big boy, isn't he? Big boy.
And just, pushing and shoving and wrestling with Toby Green like he's been out there for years and years. Just delightful. Just, if he's not making you smile.
It was Fonty, wasn't it? The one-handed drag-down tackle as well.
It was Fonty. In the last quarter, mind you, this kid did not do a lick of preseason. How is he still running? How is he still having 5 inside 50s? And if you watch that Fonty, after the Fonty tackle, obviously the ball goes to a GWS player, but Roby is in the next screen still running into the 50. Unbelievable.
Good work rate from the young boy, and one hell of a talent, isn't he? He's seems a nice guy as well, but he's a giant, isn't he? He's a giant, like he's big. I mean, someone needs to like DNA test him. I don't believe he's 18, 19.
Look, I've been reassured that he is, but far out. I mean, get excited, be excited.
Genuinely, he must have come out of his mum with a mortgage and divorced twice. He's, you know what I mean? He's a big boy, isn't he? Won't want to fight him.
It's very exciting, isn't it? Very, very exciting. And
Dyson.
Just shout out Bombers Rockets fan. I hope you're okay. Sit back. You don't have to participate, but sit back, enjoy, forget about life for a couple of hours, and we'll keep you entertained as best we can and to make life go away for a couple of hours. So, all right, on that note, let's get started. As you know, we start with a guy who finally gets some recognition from the coaches. 3 coaches' votes this week, and about bloody time, and maybe not even enough. I mean, I feel like I have to stop having input on this guy, on Peter Wright, because I'm possibly losing all objectivity completely. So maybe, Pommy, you just go.
Well, you know what? I did check the coaches' votes, and sorry I had coaches' votes there, and I was like, I'd like to know which coaches have watched this show. Just genuinely scared to not get. I like to think Kingsley and Scott were both like, "Fuck, better give a vote." Don't want to be on that show.
I'll start. They're worried about my starting a petition, and for getting Peter Wright some damn love. But good Lord.
You know what's impressing me is just with Peter is I think this is like a real like kind of untapped resource. I find he's like old guys learning new tricks. Like I think we're all about, aren't we, versatile young players, but old guys that basically were under a little bit of strife. You'd imagine that as a key forward, his days are numbered at Essendon long term, but redefined himself as this little cantankerous little ruckman. Really like everything about Peter at the minute. I think he's really hard at the ball, at the fall of the ball. I like his mobility as well. I like the fact that he's playing guys who are probably more talented than him. Kieran Briggs is a pain in the butt as well, really pain in the butt, but I thought he was a real strong showing, and I actually thought he was better than Nick Bryan for most of this game. Like, I actually, if I'd watched this and never watched the game, I would have said Peter Wright is the full-time ruckman and Nick Bryan's learning his craft. I wouldn't have thought the other guy was the full-time ruckman. So, like Peter, bit of heart, bit of courage, like what he's doing.
Langy, wash your mouth out, thank you. Secondly, you know what impressed me so much, and I know that he's a hard worker. We all know, I've told you how hard he works and how fit he is, and so going full-time in the ruck, it was almost not a surprise. But in that last quarter, he was gassed. If you look at the look on his face when he took that mark on the wing, but I don't know what kind. I'm not good with the angles, how much of an angle he was, but to go back and slot that goal when the game was still there to be won, he was exhausted, and I just thought, yeah, he had the most score involvements on the ground, so I thought he just comprehensively beat his opponent, did everything he could to help this team, and I thought his leading patterns were sensational. The delivery helped. Roberts and Duursma kind of got him lace out, but I thought his leading patterns were very good as well. So I thought he was the senior player who stood up yet again. There are a couple of others, but Pete, just an absolutely incredibly good game. I mean, he had six shots at goal, only got the 3, but worked hard. How many for you?
I mean, he's the old Twix Australian ruckman, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I know there's some other ruckmen very informed ruckmen in the league, but in terms of for us, I have to ask you this question, Pom, because this will tell me how biased I am, right? Okay, how many other teams is he getting a spot in right now?
What, as the main ruckman?
Well, the role he's playing now, main ruckman and pinch hitting forward.
Getting to Carlton.
Oh, geez, you're going low blow. Okay, maybe I am.
No, I'm going from the bottom to the top. Richmond,
okay.
Richmond, Carlton. Probably depends where you are, but you'd probably take him over CDT at the minute. So that's 3, 4, 5. I reckon maybe 6. Top of my head.
Really? I hope you included Brisbane in that, because Draper, granted, he's playing a role, but he's playing a role for Brisbane, but he's not lighting shit on fire. He is by no means.
Did you watch him this weekend?
I did, and I thought he was good, but I don't think he was. I think Peter Wright's in better form than he is.
Yeah. Okay, I'll ask you this: who would you rather right? If it meant Peter Wright never playing a game again, would you welcome Luke Jackson in the team?
Of course. I mean,
Okay,
I don't even
so
need
she's not that biased. She's not that biased. There you are.
Well, I was going to say the one team he probably doesn't walk into is Fremantle. But it's I don't know. It's not almost is he rucking better than their ruckman? It's more their ruckman doesn't play and Peter Wright plays, would get picked kind of thing for their team. I thought that's kind of more the argument.
Yeah, see how that checks out, doesn't it? It's the
all right, we're going to move on from this. How many points?
3.
Okay.
You went 5, didn't you?
No, I was going to say I did have 4. And you know what? Fuck it. My house. I make the rules. I'm going with 4. All right. On to Mr. 100 himself. Sam Durham had another very, very good game, and I was really pleased to see him follow on with last week's good game and not just be a one-hit kind of wonder, because that was pretty much his only really solid game. This week, I mean, he's a human wrecking ball. He really, really is a human wrecking ball.
The does. The does. Never a doubt. The does, dog. You know what I like about Durham is it feels like something like his mojo has been unlocked over the last 2 weeks. I don't know if he's gone down to Rebs and got lucky, but something's changed in Duz's life recently. And he looks like he remembers he's big. And my fear is, and I say this quite a lot about players, that sometimes you have a hole in your team where one player kind of gets sacrificed to fill that hole. And when they do that, they forget who they are. It's good to see Duz back to remember what he is. Don't try and be what you're not. He is an ugly footballer. He is a thug. He's a big boy. Don't try and be sexy. Be what you're good at. And look, is Duz in the top 10% of players in the league? Absolutely not. But for what he is, he's a very good player. And I like his mix at the minute. I thought he stuck it up to them as well. When he did match up against Clayton Oliver, who is a formidable opponent, I thought he matched physicality with Oliver. I like Duz. Like, for me, I'd love a Duz. Everyone needs a Duz.
I think what you say about just be who you are, don't try and be that finesse type polished player. That's not him. And I think that's why he's gone back to who he is. 11 ground ball gets, the most for Essendon. That is where I want him doing his best work, on the ground, burrowing in, extracting the ball, and 14 contested possessions as well. So the hard work, we know he can be good on the outside as well, and he's got really good running capability, but he's gone back to his roots. So that's what I liked.
Yeah.
How many from you?
Look, yeah, be ugly. I'm gonna go 2.
Okay. All right. Can you start on the Darcy Parish? I will be back in 1 second.
Oh, hey, tell you what, she's left us, chat. The power I've got. But no, Mr. Darcy Parish. Look, the man that I love to hate. I'm sometimes harsh on Darcy Parish. Is it justified? I'll let you guys be the judge of that. But you know, with Darcy Parish, I'm going to be really critical. The second quarter, absolutely phenomenal. Loved it. But outside of that, it was just okay. And I know you're probably going to be loving Darcy Parish. I liked his two-way running. I liked his work. But, you know, James makes a great point. Parish or Chera, he reminds me a lot of Chera. He's just okay with glimpses of class. I want to be harsh on him, though, because I think he's one of the senior players, in my opinion. I know he hasn't played a lot of games with his injury, but when I look at Dars, I just think I need more from him. That's completely confused me, the costume change as well.
Oh, I was just kidding. I had the full-blown wolves on. I got them out. I thought it was quite chilly, but was feeling a bit warm. So sorry. Where were we? Have we said how good Darcy Parish's second quarter was? Have you covered that?
Yeah, I was like, but that was my big issue. Like 1, 3, 4, meh, one bit of moment. And what I was saying is, what annoys me about that Darce is I just need more. David, I agree. Look, I need more from him. He's a senior player. Like, it's one of my bugbears. I don't like inconsistency when you're old. And it feels conditional. But you know what? He is what he is, isn't he?
I thought it was less conditional, more just he is what he is, a bit like with Sam Durham, and maybe it's just not going to cut it. I thought he actually worked pretty hard for this game, but I don't think he has the spread in him. I just genuinely don't think he does. And I think he's conditioned to be a second behind, not a condition, but I think he's just a second behind with his instincts and positioning I don't love, but I'm holding that against the coaches because they are essentially telling them where to position themselves at centre bounce. He had 22 centre bounce attendances for 0 clearances. 0.
Yeah, like this sounds really harsh, but this is why I don't. This type of player should win you this game. Like, I don't want to blame a player, but for me, this type of human being is the difference in these types of games, tight games. And I don't think he was. And we're going to come on to a guy I'm going to be really harsh on in a minute. But yeah, it might just be me. I don't like these types of players. I just don't.
It's upsetting because his second quarter was very, very good offensively. Very good. And beautiful. It was part of the reason. Yeah, it was beautiful. Yep. Very annoying.
Good goal,
beautiful goal. And do you see the look on his face? Nobody was more shocked at that goal, him kicking that goal, than he was. It was beautiful.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Fair, David. I love you. Look, I'm glad you hold me to account from DP3 because sometimes it might be that he just reminds me of the posh kid that took my girlfriend in year 11, and it could be just secret hate.
So you're projecting. That's what you're saying. Jeremy, okay. Jeremy makes a good point. He has missed a lot of football, but that also makes me a little bit worried that now the game's gone past him in terms of the speed that it's played at, and watching the tsunami happen. And granted, we stopped a lot of the tsunami happening a lot, but when it did happen, you just see how fast their midfielders are on the spread. And unfortunately, we don't. And maybe you can carry one midfielder who's not quite quick, but I think you've got to be getting some clearances to outweigh your lack of speed in that department. But anyway, I'm assuming 0 from you.
He's got to be. He did get 5 from me, though, remember, chat. So it's not all hate, but 0 from me,
Yeah. Not quite enough. I wish I could give him 1 for the second quarter, but I think that would be being a bit generous. So, all right, on to Zach Merritt.
Right. This was a really solid game, right, from Zach. I think solid. But again, I hold people to higher standards. I thought what I saw from Dyson, what I saw from Roby on the ball, my first instinct was future. That is going to take us from mediocrity, being that stupid mean 6,000 days from finals, to being able to take all them idiot meme accounts.
You're 1,000 short.
Yeah, no, but being able to say, you know what, fuck you. Look at our midfield, right? When Zach's in there, though, I get this feeling of it. It's like watching Home and Away. It's cool in the 90s, but now it's shit. And that's what I feel with Zach. I just feel like that is what we're getting. We know what it is. But when I saw Sharp, when I saw Doz bouncing off Sharp, when I saw the young guys in there, I really feel like Zach Merritt needs to go to that next evolution quickly of he's part of the team, not the main guy, because I really want to see more of the others. But it was a solid game. It was a solid game. And TL, I think you make a great point. See what we see about DP3. I expect perfection from these players. I just saw a very okay game by Zach Merritt standards.
Yeah, I said this on the fan cams that it sounds harsh because his benchmark is up here, Pom. Whereas the others, like Sam Durham's benchmark is not quite up there yet. He's getting there, but he's not quite yet. And that's why it is harsh. And that's why his game on the weekend is not quite enough. I thought, defensively in terms of tackles and defensive acts, I thought he was on the replay. It was very evident he was getting himself into really effective spots to impact the contest and impact kind of getting a tackle and forcing a turnover. But he's ineffective at centre bounce. Now, can we blame him? Maybe not, because he keeps being sent there. Maybe he's taking himself there. I don't know. But I'm just about done seeing him at centre bounce, as I said last week, but maybe he's not responsible for it. He did have 5 score involvement, so he was involved. I also will say, I think it was a bit harshly adjudicated. I don't know if anybody else picked this up, but I only saw it on the replay. Lots of little tugs and manhandles and no whistles. So I thought generally the game was adjudicated favourably for us as a collective team, but I feel like he got adjudicated pretty harshly. So anyway, I gave him a 1. What about you?
0 votes from me. I mean, I will say this. He had 30-odd touches, 5 score involvements. Dice had 17, 3.
Yep.
And that's what I mean. You know what role I can fix Zach Merritt? The role I am absolutely licking the arse crack of at the minute is Luke Parker, playing almost that, dare I say it, quarterback role in the back line. He's always the extra behind the ball. I want that role. It's not a glamorous role, but I want you. I do apologise for my simile as well.
Yeah, I could have gone without that.
I enjoyed the way that you still swallowed your drink as well. You did that very gracefully.
I had to keep some level of decorum on this show. It goes out the door on Monday nights. No, I'm just kidding. Let's go over to, oh, God. It hurts so much, Pom. It hurts so much that this guy's potentially out for the year. I know some people are happy. Well, happy because it potentially gives us a mid-season draft, but this guy, it is just so important that we get games into him, Roby, Farrow, and, Huss eventually, and Archie and Caddy and Kako when he gets back. It's just that is the priority right now, and it's devastating. It's unlucky. He first the ankle and now the shoulder. We don't know. They might just choose to rehab it, but my gut says you don't risk it with him. So, but up until that moment, it was the rising star nom absolutely up. The way this guy can stand up in the middle and the strength to just stand up and deliver the ball out and collect the ball. He is that premier winning clearance player that we have been missing for so long. And I'm so happy that they finally put him in the middle where he can show what he does best, because I tell you what, some of his clearances, 17 disposals, 10 contested. So, I mean, you can see how he loves to play his football. Absolutely. Loved his game. And, I felt confident, so confident when he was in that centre bounce. He was in there 16 times and got 3 clearances himself. So really good ratio.
Pommy and Oz, number 1 power ranked player in the draft, and there's a reason why. Like his ability to be clean, his hunger. I think the last 2 weeks of Dyson Sharp have been absolutely sensational against 2 very strong midfields, one against Brisbane, one against GWS. They've got a very good dynamic. Both of them play licorice all sorts midfielders as well. You never get the same midfielder in any of them stoppages or clearances. They've got good diversion. But I thought exactly what you said, his strength, his ability. The only thing I can say right now is if I was involved in Essendon Football Club, I'd be ringing Ben Stanley up, the kicking guru, and going, look, Dice, we're going to get you right, but 6 months, work with this guy. Ben Stanley took Petrarca from bottom 5 midfielder kicking to the number 1 kick in the league within a year. You're the best developed player I've ever seen, and I mean that. 17, 18 now, insane the strings he's had. I reckon Dyson Sharp has Brownlow written all over him. If he can just tidy that kicking up, I would be ringing Ben Stanley up right now, getting one of the big posh benefactors who wears a shirt too small in the boardroom now, saying, pay Ben Stanley whatever he wants, get this guy's kicking lit while he's out of duty. Game over. Game over. This guy is him.
I
Dyson,
don't think his kicking is atrocious. I think it has to be said.
It's not bad, but I think that's the next thing. That's the next. That's the only chink in his armor. He's kicking on the run, which he's never going to get quicker, but he thinks faster than most people. Easiest 5 Twix I'll ever give.
Bless. I'm so sorry, Dyson. Universe, you've fucked this one. Like, not fair at all. Thank you. Now, this guy, I'm so happy to be talking about this guy like this again, because I thought this guy had an absolutely terrific game and the best of his attributes were on display. And I don't know, I'm sorry, I can't remember. I think it was it MBD who said we have to call out the tackle in the first quarter that got him his first goal. Also props to Dyson, to Darcy Parish, who helped with that. But I thought this guy was absolutely reading the ball like it was a book. He was reading the flight of the ball wherever it was landing. He knew what contest, where to go, where to be. And, I thought he had one of his most impactful games that I've seen in a while. And I thought it was probably as hard as he's worked all year, this game. I think his work rate was off the charts.
You know what? I did a bit of deep diving the other day, right? Just because Carlton's second halves genuinely are some of the worst things I've ever seen. But interesting little POM fact, right? That if you actually look historically over the year, right, Zach Merritt's best quarter is the fourth quarter, usually when the result is decided. Xavier Duursma, though, genuinely his best quarter is his first. Which genuinely is when you're getting battered in most games. And even in this game, it was a slog. And I think that says a lot about a human being who's willing to stand up in the face of adversity, where I always say to Carlton fans, fourth quarter tail wags, though, mean nothing to me because it's gross. Do you know what I mean? Like, if the game's already over, who cares? So, like, everyone has a tail wag towards the end. They don't want to get abused. I love the way that Xav works. Like, he works incredibly hard, and seeing him a little bit more ahead of the ball this week, he gets a bit of reward for that hard effort. I think he works harder than anyone else I've seen, and there's some things that you don't get stats for, but how hard he does selfless running when the ball ignores him, but it takes a man out of position is so important. I love Xav, like really do love Xav.
Yeah, I thought he had, like a lot of his other teammates, a down game last week, but what a way to respond. One of my favourite Duursma games.
Yeah, look, incredible. We'll go with the 3 Twixes.
Okay. All right, now on to Wicker, fresh off his 1-year extension, which will take him into at least the end of 2027. He had the 9 disposals, but 6 contested. So he was in it down and dirty, the hard stuff. I thought he got turned around a couple of times by his opponent, and he was left. I'm not sure he's super quick off the mark. He was left in the review by his opponent a couple of times, but he was certainly doing the hard work. 5 ground ball gets, which I am ground ball gets. Did I say that right? It didn't sound right in my head. Which I am absolutely on them for at the moment. So I thought he had an okay game without being fantastic. We rotated about 6 guys through that position, that half forward position. He obviously went on the wing as well, but I thought he was okay.
My favourite thing that we're seeing in Essendon do the last couple of weeks is heavily rotate half forward wing. It's what every club does. All the good clubs do it. Keeps players fresh. Looking at Essendon's best 23 in 2 years, I reckon you've got 9 to 10 guys that can play midfield, which mirrors Brisbane, mirrors Sydney. You watch them, they have these players, horses for courses type players that they can bring in, and it excites me. I really like ADW, and I'm glad that, unlike Status, you're giving him game time when probably it's easier to drop him, because I think he's too good for VFL, probably not good enough for AFL just yet. But as he learns these little errors in his game, I think there's something I really like him. I think he's got a bit of Xavier about him. He never gives up. The head never drops.
Yep.
And that you need them types of players. No, I like ADW. There's something about him. Don't know what it is. I like him.
Yeah, I do too, and definitely worth persisting with. And he'll learn. I hope Xavier Duursma's kind of taking him under his wing a little bit and actually teaching him the nuances of playing that wing role a little bit when he does go through there. So I think, yeah, I love his work ethic, and as you say, he doesn't drop his head. So, yeah, good. Happy for him to keep getting games. Absolutely. Is he still? Hang on. Is he still eligible for a Rising Star chat? I don't know. What age do they stop being eligible?
Oh, Archie Day-Wicks.
Yeah.
He should be eligible. He's what, 19? And how many games has he played? Like 5?
Could be close to 7. Pixel says no, and Nuffy says yes. So someone is right. One of you is right.
Yeah, he is, because the cut-off Rising Star from memory, let me just double check, but I'm pretty sure it's below 20 in it. I'll check.
21.
It's 21 by the start of the year, so he should be fine.
Okay, so he is still potential. That would be great. If he had a great game this year, which he's got in him, definitely, he could potentially get a Rising Star nom too. All right, over to the... Oh, sorry, are you giving him any?
No.
Okay. Over to Nick Bryan. First game back, he played 57% time on ground, and I thought it was a good hit out from him. I thought he did some nice little things defensively, which is always good for a big ruckman, and I thought he covered the ground pretty well. You kind of probably want to see him taking a few more marks, but that will come the more game time he gets, hopefully.
I was so excited by the second quarter, just so you know, chat. Genuinely, I watched his second quarter with eagle eyes, and I was so excited because I thought, okay.
Some of that ruck craft was just chef's kiss.
Yeah, I thought he was making big dog Kieran Briggs look like the big door opener he is. Because Kieran Briggs literally, since they cancelled the Addams Family TV show, the only thing he can do is ruckman, or he was lurch. I love his work right around the ground. I think there's something there with Nicky B. I really do. I hope he gets, I hope he stays fit. Because I really do like Nick Bryan. I think there is some, we talked about him quite a lot a couple of years ago on the Cowton channel. Boo. But he was a guy that I thought was maybe prizable from another club.
Yeah.
I really like Bryan. I think he's a good little footballer.
I do too. I think, I just want to see some more marks. That's all. He just needs to add that to his game, and then he will pretty much fill the hole that Draper left. If he can, obviously,
genuinely. I mean, I'm pretty sure Draper's got Pom in him, so I shouldn't speak. I shouldn't speak too disparaging about him. But Nick Bryan's, he's more likable than Draper, isn't he?
Yes, definitely. But that bar is not a super high one to cross, I don't believe. So,
yeah.
All right.
I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to give him 1 vote.
Oh, okay.
Purely because I thought his work rate around the ground was very good. I think some of them drop marks were more, I haven't played at this level for 200 years than...
Not so much. I don't think he dropped any. I feel like he needs to... I don't know, put himself in positions to take a couple more. Like Draper,
I think working with 2 meter Peter,
he played for us.
I think working with 2 meter Peter is to me the best thing for him. Learn the forward craft from 2 meter Peter, and wow, could be quite a player. I really like Nick Bryan though.
Yeah. I don't think he hasn't done much forward craft, so he probably needs to add that to his bow as well.
I thought he was a Pom Roby. I thought. I was like, there's a weird, you can smell him. There's something, like, I kind of want to be his mate, but at the same time, I want to glass him, which is how I would describe any of my friendships in the UK. Love them. Same time, want to kick their heads in. That's good indication, that. Cheers, Mobs.
Fair enough. All right. Well, that does us for the mids. Let's head over to the defenders now. Start us with on Mason Redman, Pom.
Oh, Redders. What? That's a footballer, chat. What a footballer this guy is. He's a proper footballer. Him and Ridley down the back. Oh, hook it to my veins. Look,
I didn't know you felt this strongly about Mason Redman.
Look, people who know me, people who know me know that I froth a defender. I froth a defender. Look, Redman gives me Nick Newman vibes at Carlton, right? Not the sexiest type of footballer, but I tell you what, you can set your watch to him. Really reliable. There is an assurance when he kicked the goal. It was gorgeous as well. But there is just a genuine, when I look him in the eyes, he doesn't want to fucking lose and he doesn't like losing. And that kind of rubs off on the guys around him. Like, I watched this game and I was just like, you had Ridley here instead of any of this backline. Essendon win this quite comfortably.
Yeah, that makes me really sad, actually. Really sad, because the plan was to have Jordan Ridley, and it's just upsetting that he makes such a huge difference to us, and it's probably not sustainable. We need to do something about it. That doesn't involve relying on him. But you're right. If he plays, we probably win.
Him and Ridley just have that assurity about them. I feel calm. I'll be honest. I've started to fall in love with this team. So I get the Carlton fanny flutters, I call them. And that's when the ball comes into our D50 and you get that horrible feeling where you're like, oh, fuck. But when I see Redman under it, I'm like, no, it's all right. Redders has got this. That's okay. Life's good. So,
I did love the fact that, you know, if you're watching off the ball as much as you can on TV, you did see him pointing and structuring and shoring them up. And that's like, oh, welcome back to that kind of stuff, because you don't see it too much when he or Ridley are not down there. So I did enjoy that.
Great call. I think he's better defensively though than Jaden Sharp, because Jaden Sharp reminds me a little bit like he might have a bit of French in him. Surrender as soon as trouble happens. But I like Redders. I'm going to give him 2 heralded Twix Points.
Are you really? Geez, he had a tough job on Stringer, but yeah, I thought he was still just massaging out some of the chinks in his chain. But how many did Stringer kick in the end? Not that it he was on him, but
Stringer from memory, was it 3?
3, yeah.
But I think both of them, I think 2 of them goals you can't blame Redman for. Like Stringer's like Charlie Cameron. You can't really count goals that Charlie Cameron kicks because he's just a freak. And Stringer for some reason.
That doesn't make sense, because we held them against Andy McGrath last week, and you've got to hold them against
but certain types of players. Stringer kicks goals out of his arse, doesn't he? Like Stringer can when he's in the mood. Stringer can kick one from the car park, then miss 3 in front.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit fumbly, a bit sloppy with his disposal, but again, only because first game back, blah blah blah. So yes, you're right, Chris. He did get one the other way as well. So I guess that cancels out one of them.
Up the Redders.
Yes, I love having him back. If anything, then just for his leadership qualities, so much needed. All right, on to Zachy Reid. Pom, how'd you see Zak Reid's game? He had the what's his name? The Goguski kids matchup. That's not his name, but it's the Monsters Inc. guy.
The Canadian.
He's not. He can't be Canadian with that surname. That's Slovakian or something.
It's a proper top 10 pick in the NHL draft that he's from Montreal, and his mum thinks she's French because she only makes sandwiches with baguettes or something.
Grzycki, yeah. Max. I apologize, Max, but he had the Grzycki matchup. The Grzycki matchup, and then he had the Riccardi matchup when Riccardi was resting down there. So he had a tough old day, but I thought we saw glimmers of the old Zak Reid. Nice little intercept spoil on the wing. That's the Zak Reid I know. And every week I'm just seeing a little bit more from him. Not enough of it, obviously. It was just that one little intercept, but a little fingertip here, a little spoil there. And I'm pretty happy to see small incremental improvements from him.
You know what I like about Zak, right? genuinely, I like this, is the 3 intercept marks, all of them big boy marks as well, like actual courageous marks, leaving your man, going to attack the ball, and that's what we need to see more of from Zak. I actually really liked his game. Look, he is the edging of AFL footballers. It is absolutely brilliant, but his worst is absolutely horrendous. If he can just make that a little bit closer to absolutely amazing instead of horrendous, it's there. But these types of players, and I say this about our Harry Dean, our version of Zak Reid, you've just got to take the fact sometimes they'll have a brain fart and encourage them to be more and more aggressive, because Sam Taylor at GWS genuinely spent 5 years of his career with the defensive accountability of a chocolate fireguard. So that's what's really important, because that strength is going to be a problem in 3 years' time. I like Zak Reid's game. I really did. It's modern day. I love it.
Yeah, I think he's closing the gap every week on the confidence radar, confidence to fly for the marks and body his opponent. And yes, he can look a little bit like a deer in headlights, like he's panicking, but at times. But I think that gap's being bridged a little bit more every week. So I'm happy with his game. Yeah, no tweaks, but I'm happy with what I saw.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, on to your love child in Jacob Farrow. Probably one of the more kind of introverted games from him since he debuted, I thought. Did a few nice things, as he does. A nice little. I think he's getting more confident to sell the candy and take the guy on, his defender on, and forcing them, as you wanted, to defend him. And they look like they're a little bit more conscious of him as well. I noticed that he was matched up on Bedford and Toby Green at stoppage in the D50, and they both kicked a goal on him, which was fine. But I just love that he was given that responsibility to. It's not his shtick, but you still need to be in situations where they're learning that.
You know what? Nuffy makes a great point, and Pixel, fantastic point as well. This was a really interesting one with Faz, because I thought from a defensive standpoint, it was okay. And then the ball use standpoint, okay. Against Bedford, who is a nightmare matchup, like Bedford.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy has definitely...
But I love it.
Yeah. I mean, he's that tough. He's pinched money from his mum's wallet when he was 7 to buy Mars bars, like proper hard. Like serious, psychotic hard.
No Twixes, no Mars bars, no Twixes for Bedford. Toby Bedford doesn't like the Twix.
He definitely loves the Mars bars. But my issue with Farrow here, and this is high level, it's because I think he's elite. Give them something to do. Take the game on. Make it a little bit harder, because it felt, and I mean this in the nicest possible way, it felt a bit stat paddy for me at times. Felt like he was protecting that disposal, where I want him to risk going at 30% because he's taking the hard kick on because he's got God's given talent. That's my issue with Faz. I thought it was a tough matchup, but I think see what I said about Darcy Parish. He is the type of player that can turn defense into attack with a kick. And these are the types of games when you're handling yourself okay against the big guys, take the game on. Like, don't be scared. Like, possession start.
But I think we were playing more of a possession game and an uncontested possess the ball game. We were going back to that mode, and I think the instruction was to just possess it and kick it and just make your kicks. Don't look. He probably could have cut a few more angles and gone inboard a little bit. He probably went a bit safe. I think that's safe to say.
I agree, but I think the real strength of him is taking them kicks on, and this has just been high level with Jacob. Like, take it on, bro. Take it on. Like, disposal efficiency is a pretend stat. It's like getting an award for, like at end of year at school, and they gave an award to the boffin who had perfect attendance. And it's like, well done for being bang average at everything else, but having parents who hate you. Like, that's what the possession stat.
So what about the handball efficiency, kicking efficiency? Is that a made up stat as well? Or is it just the disposal efficiency?
Yeah, because any idiot can kick 15 meters to the left of them, can't they? Like, I think he's got the ability.
Well, you say that, but some of our games this year, we haven't been able to do that.
I'm a Carlton fan. playing kick to kick with our guys, you need about 8 balls. But
Exactly.
I just think Faz has got the gift to take these brave kicks on. And I felt at times he was really going. The Redman call, great call by you, Pixel, probably had something to do it. But there was a few times that there was a couple easy kicks down the line that 2 weeks ago he was taking, and this week he was going back laterally. I don't like that. Like, go for it, Faz. And I think that was more Faz-led than system-led.
Fair enough. All right. Well, he doesn't look like he needs a break to me. He probably just needs to keep doing what he has been doing well. But interesting. All right, let's move on to the skipper, Andy McGrath. And I'm sorry, Will, if you're still here, you're not going to like me because I thought that Andy McGrath actually showed a bit of composure down back with his disposal. I don't think he actually put a foot wrong outside of Toby Green did most of his damage in the midfield when he was around the ball. And as I said, when he was in the back line, Farrow had the matchup on him as well. So I think that Andy McGrath actually showed quite a bit of composure compared to what we're used to. So sorry, Will. Not enough to get a Twix from me, but I did not think he was as poor as what some people have thought.
I kind of like the Essendon fans are starting to be a bit harsh on the leaders, though. That's good because that'll make you better. But I just agree with TL. I don't think he's a backman.
I'm calling it. I'm saying it right now. I'm the first to say it. I think Andy McGrath needs to play on Shy Bolton next week. He needs to do exactly what he did on Cozzy Pickett on Shy Bolton. Shy Bolton is going to that many centre bounces at the moment, and then he's floating forward and doing damage. So I'm calling it now.
I'd rather open this role up. Zach Merritt here. He's going to be the bailout option, and McGrath go up into the midfield, be a pain, be a menace.
Yeah, I thought, and usually I'm totally against the Andy McGrath in the back line. I think he invites pressure and does the zoomies and then turns it over. But on the weekend, he did not do it. And I only noticed it in the replay. And I watched it. I watched for it. And he got handballs out to teammates who were not, under pressure. And then they were able to start the chain. So in this particular game, I'm not hanging it at his door.
No, I just think I think we got this totally wrong with Andy's positioning. Especially when you're getting hemorrhaged inside 50s. I want to see your ball users down the back take the game on. Take the game on. I did enjoy do the zoomies as well, Nuffy.
That's the only way I can describe it. That's what he reminds me of. But he didn't. Good. To his credit, he did not do a zoomie. He may have done a half a zoomie, but it ended in a correct disposal to a player who wasn't under pressure. So for that, I give him credit.
I've got to say, Fiona's analysis, like just her ability to create analogies in the last 24 months, absolutely elite.
Oh, well, I have to raise my bar when I'm co-hosting with you. The analogies.
I appreciate it, but I'm very impressed. I am very impressed. It's good to see.
Yes, Sandra, that's what he looks like. That's the dog doing zoomies. That is unfortunately Andy McGrath, but not in this game. And I implore you, if you disagree with me, please find me a piece of vision where he did it. So, but no, Andy McGrath, get him to the back line. Let me ask you this, Pommy and chat. If Dyson Sharp is out, are you simply including Andy McGrath in that rotation, or is that a disaster because we don't have an extractor in form in that midfield?
So, I mean, to be honest, if it was me picking the team, I'd just swap Merritt and Andy straight away, to be honest.
And then like Calders, because Calders will be good to go for next week or this week.
Yeah, because you don't want too many defensive-sided players in there. I mean, I don't know what you guys are doing. Look, I'm glad you've mentioned him, Jeremy. What's happening with me boy, Elijah?
He had a really good first quarter in the VFL. Really good first quarter.
Yeah, it's funny
excuse me. And then I was going to say there were a couple of moments in that game. I'm not sure how many of you watched. But did anybody else notice a couple of moments where he kind of shirked the contest? I'm just saying.
He's that kind of player. He's that kind of player.
Yeah, but that's disappointing, unfortunately. But he could easily come in because, again, offensively, he's giving us more than some others, and he is going to make up for the centre clearances that the others are not getting and that Sharp was getting. So, yeah, I'd probably bring him in. But Caldwell is coming in. I'm just prepare for that. That is a foregone conclusion. So, be interesting. Yeah, Adam, you're right. I've loved Setterfield's last month of footy. He has been incredibly solid, and I would love to see him get a go. I don't think it's going to happen.
Satterfields.
All right, let's move on to another guy bringing so many of us so much joy, and that is Archie Roberts. Honestly, if you're following anyone who said that this guy just gets junk possessions, just unfollow them and never listen to them again. And I generally don't say that because I don't want to be mean, but Archie Roberts is max impact possessions. And that is like some of his I think the stat sheet is lying to us a lot of the times because I could swear that so many balls that start with him end up in scores. Maybe I'm not reading the stat sheet right, but for him to only be put down as 6 score involvements, I could have sworn I could have counted 10 easily just watching the replay. So for me, that's what I want in my halfback, setting up the play and then working goddamn hard to be another option down the line. And that's what he does. Incredible game from him. Absolutely loved his game. So dynamic.
I do feel I actually don't believe anyone really watches Archie Roberts' game. Well, I could be wrong because there is stupid people out there, but I can't believe anyone watches the game and goes pointless possessions because everyone says, like, I heard this about Shizo. I hear it about Dacos as well, Nick Dacos. But genuinely, you would trade anyone on your team for Nick Dacos. You'd trade anyone of your team for Shizo. You'd trade any of your team for Archie Roberts. Like these are the types of players that you buy in, like, and you scream at your list management for not finding them. He is a proper player, and I think we're in a generation. I remember about like 5 years ago, people used to jerk off to Jack McRae and his ability to win the ball, and I'm like, he had junk possessions. I think like he'd average like 2 meters a game. Did Jack McRae? I think Archie Roberts is, I don't use this term loosely, world class. Like world class.
Absolutely.
Like,
and he's gonna have, when you're getting the ball 41 times, you're gonna have 1 or 2 junk turnovers in there. That's just probability. That's maths. As you can see, if you look at the top 5 most possession getters this season, they're also, most of them are in the top 10 for turnovers. So, and clangers. That's just
spawn. Like at the end of the day, if you're doing the right thing, you're going to risk turning it over. That's why I hate disposal efficiency. Kills me because if you're doing the big boy stuff, you're going to get big boy downtime.
That's right.
And sometimes it goes quality.
7 intercepts as a little halfback, the most assisted meters on the ground, which you guys know I love that stat because it's how you and how you are putting your teammate up to succeed in the next possession moving forward. So, and 6 ground ball gets 2. So he is tough. And you're right, Jeremy, the kick across goal, which ended in a goal, no good, but I can forgive him.
You know what? 2 things about Archie. One, can't wait to see Nicholas Martin with him. Like proper football times. Number 2, all do you think he's got to clean up? And this is harsh because he's a kid, he's a child. But just some of that decision making. Sometimes you saw this a lot with Shizo, who is an incredibly good user of the football as a junior. But in his first couple of years, having all the tricks sometimes kill you in the terms of you don't know when to use them at the right time. And that's the next layer of Archie. Just knowing when to take that on, when not to. Some silly turnovers from they are stupid ones as well, that if he watches back, he'll punch himself. But
you know what I love? You know, when he's actually turned it over, I can see how hard he's tried not to do that very thing.
Yeah.
In his body language. If you read his body language, and if you have spiritual Wi-Fi like I do, I can read the things going on in his head. He is thinking so deeply on how to nail this kick. He's striving for perfection in every single kick and handball he takes. And sometimes it could be one little overthought and one little ticking over extra that his brain has done to just overthink the moment, and that's when he turns it over. It's not from lack of just sloppiness or inability. It is purely because he wants it so bad. He wants so bad to make said kick or said decision, and then he's susceptible to just overthinking a moment. It's just a moment, but that will get better and better the more confident he gets. And I think arguably he's already getting better at it, personally.
No, look, I totally agree with you, and I'm with you. Look, I mean, at the end of the day, people look at efficiency stats, and I agree with my main man TL. The stat I always like to look at, because you've got to look at, am I taking the game on? I like to look at disposals till a turnover occur, which I think is the true measure of a good footballer, because.
What is it? Disposals per turnover or disposals before?
Yeah, and that's a stat for me that I look at quite a bit, because that one there is telling me, are they doing the easy stuff or are they doing the hard stuff? And that's a proper thing. But he's going to make mistakes. Like, he's also a kid, so I do feel sorry for Roberts. I feel like everyone in the world at the minute is wanting perfection. But you look at Archie Roberts, like, he's up there with some good players in that start, like everyone's creaming over. Like Tom Stewart, he's got the same disposal turnover as Tom Stewart. And people say that Tom Stewart is one of the best to ever do it. So, quality player. 4 votes.
My favourite play from him, and I'm going to give Lachie Blakiston some kudos as well for it, but he's involved in the tackle, and then Lachie gets the intercept, kicks the ball to Durham. The next thing does knows Roberts, this is on half back, by the way, is getting the handball received behind him and then delivering, lowering his eyes and delivering into 2 metre Peter's chest like an absolute pro. Like, he's been doing this like Tom Stewart for 200 games.
No, I agree. I agree. Look, proper footballer. Like, look, if I wish we had a player at Carlton who had junk possessions. Like, if that's what we're calling junk possessions, fuck, I wish we could find a few of them.
I know. I'll take another Archie, no problem. One for the midfield, one for half back. Thanks. All right, on to Jaxon Prior. Spent a bit of time on the wing, spent a bit of time forward. Was actually didn't embarrass himself when he was down forward. He was doing a lot of the tough stuff, but my favourite thing of Jaxon Prior's game was sticking up for Archie Roberts when he did kick across goal, and Jake Stringer was in his face like the freaking pickle that he is. This is a third year player, and fair enough, whatever. But Jaxon Prior in his face, making sure Jake wasn't doing a lot of damage for Archie. So I love that about Jaxon, and that's what was missing last week. So I said on the fan cams, and when I tweeted it, there was mixed emotions about it, but I really, it's important. It is a really underrated, important energy about the group, and it tells you a lot. So really liked that Jaxon was flying the flag.
My favourite thing in football is people always criticise someone like Jaxon Prior. Like, genuinely,
when he was in the forward line, I don't know if you noticed, but he was putting his body on the line. I mean, he had that one kick that he missed 2 metre Peter when 2 metre Peter was standing by himself. So we'll forgive him for that one. I think it was the third quarter. 2 minutes later, Parish missed another kick to 2 metre Peter, but he was putting his body on the line like it was no man's business.
Genuinely, play a little game with me. Look, I like to infiltrate other fan bases just because we do, everyone on Pommy and Oz. We're impartial, but it's every team has a Jaxon Prior that for some reason the fans go off at him, but won't go off at Merritt. Or they'll always go after the low-hanging fruit. But Jaxon Prior is Jaxon Prior. Like, he is, I keep saying it, 5.5, 6 out of 10 footballer who does his job. Like, he ain't going to win you a game and he ain't going to cost you a game. You want to pick on the good guys. I like it. Look, he's not got any votes from me, but I really like the fact that what this was screaming to me is we need a proper role for him. Like, we're now at the stage. This is where Essendon fans can get excited. Jaxon Prior now is at the stage that everyone's got a defined role in this team. If you were going to kill someone to bring someone in like Ridley, you're looking at Prior and ZJ. Like, that's exciting. Like, that is exciting. That look at the guys that will play alongside him. Really exciting. Spot on, James, mate. Like, every club has the guy that they claim. And I'm there going, bro's not even in the top 40 players in your team. Why are we slagging him off? He's not going to win us a game.
But it is such a I think he's also incredibly selfless because he doesn't have that role. He's going wherever they tell him to go. Wing, back, half back, full back. He's played it all. He's done it all. And he's the kind of guy and the temperament that I don't give a shit. I am grateful for what I am, who I am, where I am, and I will go where you need me to go. And he gives it 110% effort. Maybe he's not quick enough to play on that wing. I think we all agree on that. But I love the no-nonsense about Jaxon Prior. I really do. And honestly, I think, as just alluding to, that you need role players in your team to win premierships, and I think he's the prototypical kind of one for me.
Look, I always use the analogy: stars shine brighter on a dark black backdrop. You need dark black backdrops, and Jaxon Prior is that dark backdrop. That dark backdrop that makes the stars shine a little bit lighter. So, yeah, I love JP. He's all right.
Yep. All right. Now on to the next guy, Lachie Blakiston, who I am so freaking thrilled for. I think this was his best game in the red and black. Am I safe to say? I mean, I know he hasn't worn any other colours, but for the club, let's say, I think this was his best game by far. I mean, 10 intercepts. He had 9 at half. I think he had 8 or 9 by half time. He covered the most distance on the ground. He neutralised Cadman. Cadman was not interested in following him up the ground at all. And when he did follow him, when he was followed up the ground, he wasn't interested in getting back. And that occurrence that I spoke about from Archie Roberts, where Lachie got that intercept, Cadman had taken him up the ground and was still at the half forward. Well, just at the half forward line, Lachie had absolutely busted his ass to get back and saw that Jake Stringer was loose. Jake Stringer is heading towards the GWS goal to get the cheeky one out the back, but Robbo lays the tackle, Blackers intercepts and then lowers his eyes, threads the needle to Duz. Beautiful. His kicking style still confuses me and worries me a little bit, but man, did he have an absolutely incredibly good game. He bathed Cadman.
Starting to find his little place is look, some stats that I love. So score launches from the back half, he had the same amount as Lachie Whitfield. Phenomenal.
Yep.
Like that's pretty impressive for a big guy. Bearing in mind Whitfield looks like Marge Simpson's brother. That's pretty impressive. But I like Blakiston. You know what? Like, no Ben this week. And I kind of liked it. I thought, you know what, that's a big statement from your coach. We've dropped Ben Mackay. He's under a lot of pressure at the minute. And if we're honest, Black has been shit, really, as well himself. He hasn't exactly been all Australian himself. I thought he came in. I think Nuffy makes a good point, but I will counter it, Nuffy. Do like the kind of fact that he's been a little bit close, a little bit physical. He does need to pull it out of his game, but I kind of like the fact that he's getting involved and getting a little bit dirty. He needs to learn the dark arts. I'd love to get Goddard in. Remember him? He was all right, wasn't he? But Goddard was like he was the master of the dark arts, wasn't he? Like back in the day, Brendan Goddard. He knew how to cheat when you shouldn't cheat. And I feel like Blakiston needs to learn that, because sometimes he gives away them free kicks, the too obvious. He's
got a very honest face, doesn't he? So he doesn't hide it all that well. He's a bit like 2 Meter Peter. I know we've covered it, and I'm very sorry to bring him back into the conversation, but his cheeks wobbled. He was getting smacked across the face and getting absolutely no donuts from the umpires, and he gets nothing. The commentators were like frothing over Jaden Laverde. Good job, Jaden Laverde. All the while, he's got a fistful of Peter Wright's jumper on the replay when they slowed it down. He gets nothing. Lachie Blakiston is the same mould for me. He's just an ultra nice guy. So a bit of aggression, I don't mind. But you're right. He probably got to cut one or two of the frees out of his game.
Yeah,
keep in mind, he's never played defence in his life, so this is all still quite new to him. This role,
like you need them kind of things, don't you? You know, like I can only talk about soccer or rugby, but like nipping under the armpit, the old classic. Like, you need that dark arts. You need to learn the dark arts. You can't be nice on the field. Like,
of course. I thought, and I thought he used it pretty well too. I thought he used the ball pretty well by hand and by foot.
Yep, mate. What was it? 10 intercepts or something stupid? 4 score launches, like
10 intercepts, three of those marks.
Yeah, and you know what? And I actually think the best thing for Ben's career is this. Because the last thing Ben needs in his life is to be brought back in until he's ready. Ideally, Ben gets 2-3 weeks, gets that confidence back. The worst thing could have been Blakiston had 10 goals kicked on him, and everyone's going, bring Ben back now, need him in. Now Ben can find his form, and Blakiston hopefully helps make Ben get back to the levels he should be, because it's going to be hard to get in. So I thought he was phenomenal. 1 vote for me.
Alrighty, on to ZJ. Pom?
I love a little bit of ZJ. There's something about him, isn't he? You know what?
Just so lovable.
Well, I keep winding my wife up saying that, look, I want another kid and we can't have him. So I'm in the market to adopt. I'd totally adopt ZJ. He just looks like a good fun, troublesome youth. But I like this. And you know what? I think he's working incredibly hard. He's a guy that I've noticed has added so many layers to his game since I watched him in the juniors. I like it. I like the way he gets up the ground. He knows when to overlap. He's willing to come off his man and protect his teammates as well. I really like what Zak does. I think he's a real grafter.
Do you know, I think Zak Johnson absorbs pressure really well. That's what I noticed watching the replay and just watching him closely. I think he's got really quick hands, but he absorbs the pressure when it's coming to him. You don't always think of him as a very good one-on-one player, but I honestly think when there's a tackle coming for him, he doesn't look like he would absorb it really well, but he does. And of course that elite foot. And I thought it was a pretty good game from him, a really good game from him. Better than when his last game a couple of weeks ago, whenever he last played.
You know what? I'm a sucker for me Northern Knights boys. Sucker for them. And he personifies that. But no, I agree with that. I think all the skills he's learned in the AFL is credit. And I think Pixel, you're on fire today, mate. Absolute fire. He does remind me of Massimo. He is a Timu Massimo, very similar.
No, that's harsh on ZJ. He's still a baby. I don't think we're calling him Timu yet.
Yeah, he's Timu. I mean, I reckon he might be the upmarket version in 2 or 3 years' time, because I know everyone gets upset Massimo left Essendon, but I also caveat this. It's like when people cry about Matt Kennedy at Dodds and go, oh my God, Carlton fucked it up. And I'm like, Kennedy, when he was playing at Carlton, was playing as the 5th midfielder. We played him at halfback, so he'd still be shit at Carlton. Any idiot would look good next to fucking Bontempelli, who's half talented. Like I'd be okay playing with Bont protecting me as well. So I think Massimo is very, very good, but I also think he's a product of how good Hawks are as well. They play that expansive.
He is also very not defensively accountable at all.
Which he doesn't have to be at Hawks because he's got battle and freaking harass behind him.
That's right. That's right.
I can't run as fast as Massimo, but I'd be okay in the Hawks team. But ZJ, I like it. He's learning hard. 1 vote. Like I'm impressed with ZJ because he's added so many strings. Because at times he was so undisciplined at Northern Knights, which is why I like him. I like my young players to be a little bit willing to rip up the playbook.
Yeah, I also think he's subtly got a bit of dog in him. Hasn't come out quite yet, but I think he's got a bit of dog in him, Pom.
He definitely does like the old centre forwards trick, standing on someone's toes.
Yeah. All right, I won't lay that, but I just think I think his eyes sort of light up when he sees a bit of a scuffle. He's not afraid to walk towards it, where some guys walk away from it. Just saying.
Look,
Jake, do you understand? Yeah. Sorry.
I was going to say, look, some people hate cheating, but I say I hate it when you get caught. Like in a game in sport, cheat. Just don't get caught.
Fair enough. And you know what? If they're doing it for our team and it gets us a goal or gets us a win, I guess we'd all love it. Do you know what this means, Jacob? I don't know what this means.
Oh, Gabrielle at Arsenal.
Oh, that's why I don't know what it means, because it's about soccer. Okay, righto. So is that true? Whatever that reference was, does that make sense to you?
He's got a little bit of Gabby about him, I suppose.
Okay, gotcha. All righty, let's move on to the last line. It is the forwards, and there is some genuine joy on this page too, isn't there, Pom?
There is. Tell you, I can't wait to get to the last two. Well, 2 out of 3. The last 2 out of 3.
I was going to say the last two, but I have to admit, as I alluded to before, we ran about 6 guys through that half forward role, and they all made their way up the ground, except for probably Langford. He was probably the closest to home. But Archie Perkins, I thought it's been a while since we've seen him, but the best game he's had for a while. He was a really, really impactful conduit. He was the conduit between the half forward and the forward line, and the midfield and the forward line, I should say. I thought he played that role beautifully, and I will maintain that his kicking inside 50 is very, very good. I know, when he played 5 weeks ago, Kane Corns absolutely killed him for that one kick on the boundary that he directed inboard and completely miskicked it. But I think his delivery inside 50 is very good. And, you know, he's a bit like Roby in this respect. He can wear a tackle strong through the hips. I thought he had a very, very good game, definitely worthy of a follow-up game.
Archie Perkins is in a risk of becoming, when Essendon's people that be, looking at you, Rosa, do the right thing and get rid of DP3, Archie Perkins has got a bit of DP3 about him. Like, it could be good, but is this real? Is this just the game?
Well, it is one game, so yeah, we'll see.
I really like this, and if he did this all the time, there would not be a question he's best 23. Like, yep. I loved his intent as well. I don't have an issue with his kicking. I have an issue with, I hate, and being a Carlton fan, you'll feel this, what I like to call conditional effort. Fucking annoys me. It annoys me. And Perkins looks like a big bottom lip guy, pouting and sulking when it's not gone his way. This week, he just acquitted to it. And yes, you're right, Jacobs. He did drop a sitter. But for 95% of the game, if we're going to be where we are versus what he has produced, absolutely brilliant. Absolutely
but I'm also okay if he drops it and has the will to make up that error, and not just make up for it, but put it on the scoreboard, make it a goal. Like, I didn't see that. I didn't see that kind of intent from him. Make an error. Oh, well, next person will clean it. I'll just get next time, the next contest. That was, for me, that was his best moment of the game. Because for the first time, I saw a guy who gave such a shit to repair what he had done and make something of it. Because for the first time, it's actually gotten through to his head that his spot is not guaranteed. That he just, because he was a top 10 draft pick, he just doesn't get games. That's what that looked like to me, and that was his best moment of the game for me.
You know what I'd love to do with Perkins, and I think this is a lot of young men just in the world. I'd love to make them 50 for a day, 50 years old for a day, and go, this is what you'll want to go back to being 24 again and realize, if I just tried a little bit harder, if I just had that hunger, that desire, it would instantly fix them, because it's going to be over before you understand. Like, do you know what I mean? It's going to be over before it happens.
The guy Rising Star nomination has walked in the door and said, mate, and credit to the coaches who haven't just kept playing him. Like, yeah, you're right, Pixel, 100 games, he's probably been gifted many of them. But you know what? Roby walks in the door and says, well, I'm taking this spot for my own. So now you beat me for it. You pride out of my hands, or you come along with me and we'll both push Cole Langford out, or something like that. Like that. That's the attitude Perko's got to run with now, and it means nothing. I said this about Craig Gresham. It means nothing if we don't see it next week and the week after.
Adam nails it as well. It's here. It's in here.
Yeah.
And you know what? Sometimes you got to risk looking like a dickhead on the football field. And I feel like that's where Perkins needs to be. He needs to throw himself into the limelight to be open to the criticism. And maybe you've nailed it, Pixel. Sometimes when these players get gifted, they come from Brighton Grammar School, you know what I mean? Which is very la-di-da-di-da. Sometimes you need to struggle, and right now he needs to struggle. But this was good. 1 vote from me. Just make this be the rule, not the exception.
Has to. There is no if, buts, or maybes for me now. This is almost not, I mean, it's technically not the last chance, but it's the last chance for me, like in terms of I'm sick to death of the standard that he set for himself. Raise the bar and stay there. All right, on to our only small forward playing, and even he played half forward. He was one of the rotation who got quite high up the ground as well. Which means we had no small forwards, genuine small forwards in this game, and that was the issue in the end. But he played the defensive role on Whitfield. We all know Whitfield had an absolute belter of a game, so it wasn't all that successful, but we can't put him down for effort. It's not about effort. It's probably just a bit of class. The 10 disposals, 5 contested, so he was in and under, getting it, doing the best he could. He really needed to kick one of those goals, and if he kicked the set shot, who knows what may have been. But probably not quite enough at the moment for Jaden UN for mine.
You know what? It just shows you the left level from VFL to AFL.
Yeah.
So being a blue, a bit like you guys, you look to your VFL and just hope, and sometimes forget there's a gap. There's a gap, and I'm seeing that with Jaden because it's hard. It's easy kicking against part-time postmen, and I feel like it's not talent though with Jaden. I feel like it's deeper. I think it's about knowing you belong and having the courage. Having the courage. I think the talent's there, and I'd love to coach him because I'd be like, all that's changed is the names and the amount of people watching you, mate. It's exactly the same fucking game though, bro. Like genuinely, it is. Like the skill set you've got is there, but it's little things I'm watching. Like it's the intensity's gone, the physicality's gone, which I saw in abundance in the VFL, like them tackles inside 50. I think he's had 1 tackle inside 50 since coming back into the side, where he was having about 3 or 4 in VFL.
That's where I think the pressure acts, like for him, because again, I could swore he's having more tackles than that since he's been in the AFL side.
But you got to remember that the AFL count tackles in a weird way. Like
that's what I'm saying. So I'm probably giving him a few extra than what's on the stat sheet. Definitely,
yeah, I've noted. We always laugh at the the tackle stat because it's so ridiculous.
I don't buy it. I mean, when I watch the replay, I can count them myself. So anyway, sorry. Continue.
But it's an interesting one with him. I think James has been a little bit hard. He isn't AFL level yet. Might never be. I'd say yet. Definitely, but I'd say at this stage, there's no one else, is there? Oh, wait, there is. There's a certain Matt Guelphy. Where's my boy?
I wasn't expecting that.
Bring him back.
I mean, he's not doing much in the VFL, Pom. Well, that's all I'll say.
But once you're in the AFL, you've got to bring it. Like, and it's my biggest pet hate when you're not bringing that VFL, what you've been promoted for, into the seniors. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Everyone's saying Huss. How's Huss going?
His last 3 weeks have been 3 goals, 4 goals, 3 goals. And with Huss, unlike Jake, probably doesn't have the aerobic capacity to consistently attack and defend and put that pressure on in the forward line as much as you would like, hence why he's in the VFL right now, because he can clearly find the goals. He just needs to work on that and get fitter on those repeat efforts, those repeat defensive efforts when the ball hits the ground in our forward 50. and then the ability to sweep on a ball and scoop, get a 2 or 3 crumbing goals at AFL level where the pressure is going to be greater on you. So he's just not quite there yet, but he can find a goal. He can find the goals, and he'll more than likely be good for 1 or 2 goals if he comes into the AFL team. He's just not probably going to set the stat sheet on fire or put a ton of pressure on as the only small forward. I'd love to see it Jaden and Huss, or Gresham and Huss, so it's not just all left up to him. I even hate it when Kako's left to do that much to his own. I think it can't just be left to one. We need more than one, but right now, arguably, we don't have the quality in that area. So I'd probably still be persisting with Jaden for now.
You know who it is? Mid-season draft, Sam Toner. That's who you need.
What's his name?
Sam Toner.
Toner?
No, yeah.
Toner. Okay. Tell us about him. Really?
It'll change your life. Honestly. I've cried twice in my life, right? Once when I first heard the Beatles, and the second time was when I saw Sam Toner play football. Proper footballer. But I'm telling you, he's going to be a very, very good. Very, very good.
How tall is he?
So, Sam Toner, let's bring up my Excel spreadsheet. Because
Pixel, no. Jay Gresham is indigenous. So he's 184. Oh, okay. So he's kind of medium-ish.
Yeah. So very, very good with the ball below his feet. Very good accumulator. He's a little bit like Dyson Sharp, I would say, as well, in the terms of since his draft year, his ability to improve. I remember in his draft year, everyone was like, "Oh, he doesn't move. He doesn't. He's that awkward size, but proper footballer."
Oh, okay. All right. Well, is he like touted to go highly? To go high? Early?
I'd say that like in the top 5, surely, if them clubs that you'd be looking at him. I mean, I know TL asked about Ollie Griffin. I don't see why you would go for him. I understand why Richmond would go for him. But why, Richmond or even maybe the Eagles, should they have a spot? I just think Ollie Griffin, do you really want someone that you're going to have to wait 1, 2, 3 years for? Which I feel like Ollie is that type of player. Well, I think Sam is plug and play. And I think for me, where Essendon are, same as where Carlton, why are you bringing in more people when you're already going to have a prime pick in the draft? Now he's about trying to find the opportunity missed. And I think Sammy T is a massive hole.
Okay, interesting. All right, let's get on to the guy whose bus I've been driving since November.
Yeah.
What a great game. What a great game, Archie, mate. He just brings me so much joy because I look at his body and then you look up at this face and it's the baby face and they don't necessarily match quite yet, but he's just playing. Is he not playing like a guy who just loves playing right now? Who is just adoring the opportunity he has at his fingertips? Honestly, he does not stop contesting and competing. He is an extreme competitor, loves the contest, loves crashing packs. I know you said he was very tentative in the first game, but I don't think we've seen that person. I think that guy is gone.
Yeah, you know what? Look, I gave him a spray round 1. And since then, he's answered it back. You love to see it. Very physical, plays hard. I thought he put his body on.
3 clutch goals, Pom.
Yeah, you know one thing I really enjoy about forwards, and it's something that you see the best do and the mediocre don't do. It's they're willing to engage early. And I love the fact that Archer's starting to show that now. And I'll go back to what I said round 1. God doesn't make you that size so you do pottery. He made you that size so you fucking break something. He wants you to smash the granny out of life, and that's what he's doing now. I really like it. He might be a gentle giant, but on the field, I want him to hurt someone, and he looks up for it. Really like what I'm seeing from him. I know you were linked with Van Wyck, weren't you, this time last year?
Yep.
And you took May, didn't you? from memory. I
Yep.
might have just made that up. I'm sure Van Wyck was there. But yeah, loving what I see. Easy 2 votes. Keep doing it, Arch.
And I just love that the 3 tackles as well. His defensive game and his follow-up after an aerial contest is as good as any forward. He's a bit like with Darcy Parish, who is a second behind the reflexes. Archie May's reflexes are bang on. As soon as that ball, he's not expected to get the ground ball and to be good below his knees, but he is very good below his knees and showed that in the preseason. All right.
You know what? It might be the father in me, but there is something incredibly magical at seeing a young man understand his place and knowing he belongs. And I think that's the big thing with Archer. Like in 7 weeks, from 7 weeks ago, round 1, where he looked like he was just lucky to be there. He looked nervous. He looked within himself. To see him now act like he's been there for 500 games, that makes me incredibly happy. It makes my heart warm because he's changed as a man, and that's impressive. Well done, Archer. You know what? Fuck it. Give him 3 votes. Give him 3 votes. I've talked myself into it. Archer, have an extra one from me.
You've talked me into it too. I don't mean it, David. I just mean I didn't mean to be nasty at all. I never do. It was just the difference in the.
No, I'm the mean one.
The instincts and the reflexes that come.
Who was the mean one on Australian Pop Idol?
Simon Cowell.
Oh, was Simon Cowell on Australian Pop?
Oh no, he was American Idol. I don't know. Was it Mark something? Mark. For the Australian one, Mark something.
I think he was a POM one, Dicker, as well. I think he was one of mine.
Yeah,
so that makes sense. I'd be Dicker. Right. He was the nice one.
Marsha Hines was the nice one.
Well, that'd be you then. So I'm Dicker. Tell you what, it's not the first time I've been called Dicker.
Pop Idol! You're right. Oh my God, that went straight over my head. What the fuck is Pop Idol? You just said that wrong.
Wait a minute. Because Idol. In the UK, it was just called Pop Idol. We didn't have like UK Idol because it was our show.
Oh.
So
Mark Holden. That was it. Mark Holden. Was he one of the nice ones? Oh, okay. I don't really remember.
So we called it Pop Idol Pixel. We didn't add a country because it was our invention. So
okay.
You called it Aussie Idol, I'm guessing, and like they called it
Australian Idol, yeah.
Australian
Idol, American Idol.
Yeah, it was just Pop Idol to us.
Pop Idol. Interesting. Okay. All right. On to Nick Cox, who didn't disgrace himself. Had another good game. I thought there's a few marks that he should have clunked, that he left kind of out there. But I did like particularly his body language. I don't think he gave up on the contest, gave up on the chase. There wasn't that pretend chasing or can I better just do it. There was some really tent to his pressure acts, I'll say, not the pressure number, not the number, but what I saw from my eyes, the eye test. So I thought he was pretty good. He played that conduit role as well, to less success than what a Perkins did. But I thought when he did float up the ground, I thought he was very good. And he was matched up on Harvey Thomas, who is no shrewd in that area.
Yeah, he's working back into it, isn't he? I mean, you've got to remember, like, this guy hasn't played for 700 days or something stupid, was it, until last week? So I'm willing to take my time. Just the speed of the game and the pace of the game, probably something he's got to get used to. And again, he's doing it in AFL. He's not doing it in VFL, which is even harder. There's something out there, though, with Nick. I think it's really obvious when you watch him as well. It will come together. It's just a matter of time of when. But I'm willing to give it a couple more weeks. He doesn't get
definitely,
votes, but I'm liking it.
Yeah, definitely. It's all about the body language with guys like Nick Cox and Archie Perkins and Ben Mackay. It can kind of assimilate that they don't care or they've given up, but it's not that. I think it's illogical to think that that's that. It's just that I don't know whether it's a confidence thing, as you alluded to, between the years, that they don't have the ability to bounce back psychologically in the moment after they've stuffed up, after they've made an error. The best athletes in the world, that's the difference. That's what sets them apart. They can bounce back from a mindset point of view. They can interrupt the limiting belief that's popped into their head in that moment and told them that they suck and that they're no good and they're imposter, that they shouldn't be out there. The best athletes interrupt that and replace it with something helpful and more positive. And that's the next evolution of some of these guys, like the guys who are sensitive to confidence drops. 2 meter Peter has also been, susceptible to that in the past. So he looks like he's turned it around. Bad game against Collingwood. What does he do? Bang, 2 more games like an absolute star. So I have faith in the others.
You've got to have faith, as George Michael once said.
Oh, did you really go with that reference?
I could have gone with Limp Bizkit, I suppose, as well, if you wanted.
All right. I know you're just trying to push me over to the other column here. All right, tee off. Go on. Nate Caddy. What a star.
Oh, what a proper...
What a filthy game from him. Absolute filth.
What a proper footballer. Look, I apologise to all Essendon fans that I started the trade rumours as well 3 weeks ago by saying, why does no one ever get linked with Nate Caddy? He's like fucking quality. But I'll tell you what, this kid plays football, doesn't he? Like proper plays football. And you know what was weird as well? You check the heat maps and you watch the game as well. Like the guy working behind the ball as well when they were in a bit of trouble. Like, and standing up and taking marks. Like selfless. You think as a young kid, he just wants to kick goals, but working hard both ways. A proper footballer, this though. Like he's in the echelon of like, I know everyone like jerks off other footballers, but you put this guy in a top 4 team, he'd be top 5 in the Coleman. Like the only thing that's holding him back is quality ball use, really. But he's a proper.
As in, you mean quality delivery into him?
Yeah.
So I thought we were better at that. We obviously didn't convert as much as we should have with the amount of ball we were getting inside 50, but I thought he got some good looks.
Yeah, I mean, my issue with this game was 61 inside 50s.
For 13, was it 13 goals, 12 goals, something like that?
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Which is like, I mean, it's a little bit like, like when I was single at Rebs. It's like,
all right, Jesus, I hear you. We're getting there, Jesus. I promise. One more, but we have to wax lyrical over this guy because he deserves it.
This guy is a proper footballer, like a proper footballer. Works hard, like really hard. Never head doesn't drop. You can see that he's willing to. He's got that dog, that champion spirit. I love Nate Caddy. Like honestly, I cry watching him play football. Having seen him play for Carlton's reserve side.
He's just he's everything you want in a future leader, and that is what I think he will be as well. Is taking it personally how we're playing, and I love that. And I love taking it personally, taking the losses personally, and I love that attitude. And it's reflecting in a guy who wants to win. His performance is just it starts and ends with wanting to win and compete and be better and do it with his teammates. The excitement he got from that. Sorry, I don't mean to keep bringing up 2 meter Peter, but the excitement he got when 2 meter Peter took one of those contested marks in the forward line and then kicked the goal, like the look on his face is like a kid in a candy store. He's so, and this is what I keep telling you, please don't spend, life is short. Life is fucking hard at times. Look at the world, what's going on. Please don't spend any of your precious energy worrying that Nate Caddy is leaving because he fucking adores this club and he adores the jumper and playing for it. So for the time being.
I agree with Greg here as well, and I'll reiterate what I said last week. When I heard that interview, I didn't think that was a man that was going to leave.
No.
I felt that was a man that was entirely the opposite. And all Essendon have got to do is provide the grounding for him to be who he needs to be, and that's a superstar of the competition. But look, he's kicking fucking boatloads of goals. When this team gets better, he's going to be good. It's going to be tough to stop. So
and he, sorry, Pom, go.
4.
He like 3 shots, 2 goals. Like he's closing that gap as well. As I said to you all last week, he missed those shots from the boundaries. He was last out there at training last week, kicking goals from the boundary, both sides. As you all saw, he got on the caddy cart and took himself up the other end with the footballs to kick goals. And this week,
do you know who he reminds me of a lot? And I don't want to get excited. But
quickly, because Jesus is going to tell me off
he
again.
He reminds me of Buddy, early days Buddy.
Oh,
that almost has a sheer arrogance. I should kick goals, and I will kick goals. Like, I believe Caddy's going to kick goals. Like, I think there's about 3 forwards in the competition right now. When they're running at that ball, I think, okay, this is a mark and a goal, and Caddy's one of them.
Yeah. And Scooter, you are absolutely correct. That is correct. So if you're all reading what Scooter's saying, that absolutely has happened. So just chill on that. I mean, life will give you worries, but don't make that one of them, okay? No, I'm sorry, Adam. It is not by design. It is purely coincidental. And if I'm telling you, if I have been harping on about a small forward for 11 years. And if there was one that was stealing my heart, I'd be waxing lyrical about him too. So until that happens, the big boys it is. All right, Jesus, are you ready? Here we go. I'll let Pom start because you don't want to hear from me. Go on, Pom.
Fucking Nat 5 2.0 here. Sullivan Roby. You know what? It's great to watch. It's great to watch. And see what I said about Nick Cox. There is something, I think it's the dad in me, but in the last 5 years, just seeing young men know that they belong and they're enough. And that's the hardest thing. As a man myself, it's the hardest thing to understand when you feel like you're enough. Sometimes it feels a bit special. I think Sullivan Roby belongs. And you know what? This game, to see an 18-year-old child throw around men was great to see, because that's what I need from Perkins. That's what I need from the other guys. Especially Jaden needs to listen to Sullivan. I don't care if they're children, they're adults, they're getting thrown to the ground. I'm beating them up. This is what I'm doing. And he is a special, special footballer. Like, genuinely special. No preseason, coming from a long way back. Got to remember, this time 12 months ago, no one picked him up in the top juniors of the competitions. He had to toil away in the middle of nowhere in Ringwood. No one knew who he was. To 12 months later, on the biggest stage, fighting Toby Green, getting in his face, throwing one of the best young players in the competition, Joe Fonte, on the ground like the sack of shit he is. This is a top player. And you know what? This forward line is incredibly exciting. Like, long term.
I know, guys. Believe it. We're starting to see a forward line. Like, it makes me happy. We still got work to do, of course. So much work to do, and we're 1 or 2 classy players short. But honestly, Archie May and Nate Caddy together, they've played 9 games only together, and they're already knowing when to get out of each other's way every week a little bit more, a little bit better. Them two alone, and then you could interchange Tom Edwards, Nick Cox, Cole Langford in that. But if they can play so much football together over the next 2.5 seasons, that's what you're going to start to see from, like you're seeing with Nick Lachie and Curtis and Trembath. They're playing a lot of football, not so much Trembath, but the other two. They're playing a lot of footy together, and the synergy is building. That is what we're starting to see here. So Sullivan Roby, I mean, his last quarter just did it all for me. To have that last quarter when this is only how many games in for Jesus? I think you just said it. You just told me. But anyway, like four games into your career when you didn't have a preseason, you played a couple of VFL games. How is he aerobically? How does he have the lungs to keep going to 251 metres gain in the last quarter, 5 inside 50s, 2 clearances? Unbelievable. Just an unbelievable effort for the last quarter, and that rundown chase tackle, which he then kept running on. And then a contest later, after Giants had got a goal, he was still running up and back. So his spatial awareness, just like Sharp's, is exceptional. They know what's what. They know football. They know ball, dare I say it. And I'm very excited. And Jacob, I'm going to be held to the death for this. But I didn't say I didn't want him. I said I was apprehensive about him just jumping onto the scene and having just a short, good stretch. and compared to other guys who had sustained success for a year or more. So I was just a bit apprehensive. It's not that I didn't want him.
And I think that's a great call. Because like Pixel says, I think we say it every time, and it's probably boring now, but Sully was a midget and then suddenly became a giant. So, I mean, there's also that factor as well. I think it's a good reservation. I'm glad Fiona had that reservation, because a lot of people just see one guy, oh my God, he's big against children, he's going to be big against men. We are talking about real men now, and what is impressive is Sully is treating these men exactly the same as the kids. He's throwing them around now.
Do you know the other reservation I had? It wasn't even about so much Roby's potential. It was, are we a good enough club to hold a guy like Roby, to help a guy like Roby, an enigma, a star, a Dustin Martin, a line breaker? Are we good enough to actually let Roby get the best out of himself and show his best? And I wasn't confident that we were, but now you're pairing him with Sharp and May, who nobody saw coming except me in the preseason. Nate Caddy, like, I have faith that we actually can be a club that can help Roby hit his heights and reach his heights. And the praise has to go to him too, that he's not sitting back and waiting for Essendon to become a top tier team. He's actually saying, nah, fuck that. I'm going to be part of the group that makes Essendon a top tier team. Just like Caddy, he doesn't want to just get there. He wants to be part of the process and part of the journey. And Sullivan Roby is in that same mold. So props to him.
Genuinely, I love this guy. Like, I genuinely love this guy. Like, watching him. Like, I keep saying it, Nathan Fife 2.0. Like, genuinely.
No, does he get the 5? Yeah, fuck it. He gets a 5 because he got the rising star.
You know what? Let's fucking go. I was going to give him 4, but let's do it.
I was going to give him 4, but that was before the rising star. This was this morning's notes in the rising star nom. So the rising star gets him the 5.
You know what's annoying though is if we could somehow give this fight to people like Captain Andy, Parish, would be huge. Like this kind of like, not going to die. I'd die rather than lose. Like if that kind of hunger, and that's what kind of excites me about Essendon. I can't remember who I was reading the other day, but someone was basically saying Essendon's youth is shit. I can't remember what it was. Basically saying it was overrated. It's not that good. Like you'd rather have Eagles list, you'd rather have Norths. I totally disagree, because I think when you look at Essendon's youth, this youth has something that Essendon haven't had probably for 20 years. This desire to win at all costs, this desire to be what we're about, change the culture. And I think that's really exciting. Like Nate Caddy, Roby.
Sometimes it's not just about their ability on the football field. Sometimes it's what's between the ears as well, the dexterity between the ears, the sense of self. These kids have such a strong sense of self, like nobody is interrupting that, and that's good parenting. That's a really good base level. They know who they are and what they are, and no amount of losing, well, so far, the body of work we have to judge them on, no amount of losing or outside noise or outside pressure is going to interrupt that, the heights that they have in their mind palaces for themselves. Jesus' question says, just throw him into the midfield this week, 50% CBAs. Patrick said he looked very proper at training. No, he didn't. You mean, are we talking about Roby? Didn't look proper at all. I think he could generally tear a game apart. Yeah, well, I think this week I didn't write down. Yeah, he had 13 centre bounce attendances. Last week I believe it was 7 or something like that. So I think they're just gradually increasing those. And over the year, and dare I say it, but with Sharp no longer in the team, at least for the next handful of weeks and months, maybe, he probably is going to get more. So, yeah, absolutely.
That annoy me, Fiona. It's two of the things that annoy me is one, culture. Like, fucking, like, I know no one's worked anywhere good when they use this phrase. We don't have a winning culture, because there's no such thing as a winning culture. You have just attributed a myth with a result, and the culture gets you either one. So There's no such thing as a losing culture and a winning culture. There's good culture and bad culture, but having a good culture, by definition, doesn't mean you win. So people always do this. Oh, you've got to go out and get a flag winner and change it. And I'm like, okay. And then everyone goes like this. Oh, Luke Hodge went to Brisbane and Brisbane became good. And I'm like, no, Luke Hodge was a champion who came into a young, hungry, dedicated football team that suddenly had someone to bounce off. Someone who's like, I've been there and done it. But if they were all idiots, that wouldn't have worked. And Luke Hodge would have been the biggest waste of money we've ever seen. Essendon can't go out there and buy 18 Premiership players. But you know what they can do? They can draft guys that have the mindset of, I'm not going to die trying. I'm going to go out there. And that is how you change it around. That's how you change it around. Right?
Yep.
So that's a big thing. So, no, but shaky is not a losing culture. There's no such thing. Right? So culture is effectively, by definition in sport, standards. And standards are basically the things you turn a blind eye at and walk past and the things that you value. So some people get social culture and business culture and sport culture separated. It's the biggest fallacy in the world, though, because it's kind of handed off of Essendon has a losing culture, Carlton has a losing culture, but Brisbane have a winning culture. Does Geelong have a winning culture, though? Because they've only won one flag in 10 years. They have a good culture, though, because they've made finals all them times. It's so much more greater than that. So, like, for me, the quickest way is bring in these types of players. Roby, Caddy, even May. These guys will die rather than losing. That's huge.
And then, as you say, they're not... They almost don't need senior players, or someone said it. I don't know who said it in the chat. Sorry, but they don't even need the senior players. Of course, we don't want the young guys to be acting like the senior guys, because they shouldn't have to. But they don't look bothered by it. Nate Caddy, to me, doesn't look bothered that he has to be one of the leaders down there, and that's the difference. That's the nuance in. And I don't want to sound disrespectful, but that's the difference between your Perkins, Reid, Cox compared to Caddy, Roberts, Roby, Sharp. They just want to take the challenge. They see the challenge that Essendon is, the basket case that we are, the mediocrity that we've swam in for the last 26 years as a challenge, instead of running from it. But anyway, all right, we've got one more to dissect for the night. Cole Langford, Pom, how'd you see his game? He had the Buckley matchup.
It's a tough one when you watch Langford, because he's another one who's kind of just been like, you can kind of do it, so you're going to do it, where it's not a defined role anymore. It's intriguing, because you know what? I was watching this game, and you know who I missed? I missed my boy, Tommy Edwards.
Did you now? Did you see the spectacular specky he just very casually took? I reckon he would have had the biggest bruise on his behind. You see how he bounced on his buttocks? That ground did not look soft. Look,
it's never good. It's never good when you bounce on your coccyx, is it? To be honest, so, I mean, it looked painful.
If he had mine, he could have a bit more cushioning. But poor old Tommy.
But yeah, I looked at Langford and I thought it was a tough one. It was a tough one to watch, because I just don't think this is his role. And you know what? I
what
really
role
want
to playing the deep forward, because he did play a little bit deep forward, and then he got up a bit higher. Not so much as he has been in previous weeks, but I thought his best football this year has been down back. But Redman coming back changed that.
You know what? And I think here, Josh, you nail it. I don't like it when you change players round too much, because eventually they lose the rhythm of what they're naturally good at. And he looked a little bit like what I'm complaining about Brodie Kemp. We spent 3 years turning him into key back. Then he goes forward, and you can see all of his skill has been forgotten, and he's relearning what he was originally drafted for. With Langford, I would love him in the VFL, because I think he's the standard now. I'd love to see Tom Edwards, May, Caddy, till the bye, every game. Give them the responsibility and go, right, boys, you're the future. We're dedicating you the Premiership trio. That's what we're calling you. Got 6 weeks. Do it.
I think I will say Cole Langford, yeah, you're right. And I lamented him last week for not kicking those goals, because he should have. And again this week, but I do think he adds a little bit of leadership down there. I do like him off the ball, organising things. A bit like Redman this week. I thought he was doing a bit of that, as much as you can see on TV, of course.
Yeah, no, I agree. Look, but I mean, like at this stage now, like I always look, at this time of the season, what are you playing for?
Void.
You know what I mean? What are you doing? What you doing? What you playing for? Like, I'll be honest, as a Carlton man.
But how do we know that Nate Caddy and May are not playing as well as they are because of Kyle Langford's direction and leadership and setting them up? And I don't know. I mean, it's worth a look, I guess.
I mean, look, to me, as a Carlton man.
Agree. Yes, David, 100%. But kick the effing goals. Must. Non-negotiable. But Pom gave a reason. He's probably out of his rhythm.
No, but like, I mean, a big thing for me, like, I mean, he is over the age of 18 and he is male. I mean, I think they can all step up. Like, I'd expect all three of them to have that responsibility. But as a Carlton man, I would say I would be more fearful if I looked at your front three and it was Tom Edwards, May, Caddy. I'd be like, I know what Langford does. He likes to go from the goal square, lead in the pocket, or they'll put him somewhere else where the filler, if he goes on the wing, he's not really going to hurt us, right? However, Edwards, dynamic, hard to lock down, finds a moment. Caddy, work rate like I've never seen. And Archie May's going to sit there and probably go toe-to-toe with Harry Dean and try and beat him up and give Harry Dean what he wants, someone to fight. That would worry me. Langford, nah, I wouldn't be it. So, I mean, look, I just think long-term, that's it. But, like, I don't think this is where you need the maturity and the responsibility.
Fair enough. As I said, I thought he's played some of the best football he's played this year has been in the back line, except that Kangaroos game. That first half, he was exceptionally good on the wing. The two-way running, he was absolutely everywhere, involved in everything. So,
what was the game down the back you really liked? I can't remember that. When was that?
It was the week before. Who did we play before Anzac Day? That was his best game. He got lots of Twix that game. Lot of Twix. Very, very good. Intercepted everything. Anyway, yeah, I don't think it's particular. Gold Coast. Thank you, Pixel. That was the one. Nailed it. That was the one.
Yeah, I just think this forward line needs to breathe a little bit, like genuinely. Like, I know you all love Langers, and fair enough. He's a good servant.
He's probably the one senior player who I think's got more in him, and we're just not quite seeing what he's got in him. He's probably the one who I would, in terms of who I'm dropping or who I'm moving out of certain areas, he's probably the last on the list. But eventually, if he doesn't kick those goals or have a bit more impact, he's probably got to move. So we'll see. We'll see how we go. No Twix, but that forward line, that's probably. Oh no, the defenders got some love from Pom, but the forward line was where it was at. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, like, you just think Kako, May, Caddy.
Oh, add Kako to this.
No, Roby, Edwards. And then, like, what? You need another decent small.
Yeah, definitely.
That's up there with the Premiership makeup. Because, like, when you watch Edwards, like, I think people overcomplicate making space for each other because any idiot can do that. Like genuinely.
Well, again, you say this, but Essendon are very good at not doing the simple stuff.
I disagree because Caddy never leads into the same space. So watching May drags the defence back by staying deep, which perfect. That creates the space in behind, right? You got Caddy working up the pocket, brilliant.
Yep.
And the next guy, for me, if you're going with Premiership ingredient, has to be Dead-Eye Dick, right? If this guy gets a chance, GG's, game over.
Yep.
I don't think Langford's that guy. So, like, when I look at Carlton this week, my big criticism with Kemp was he's playing that Langford role. He's leading into the space, being a pain in the ass. When he doesn't kick the goals, you're kind of like, oh, well, fuck, that was shit, because you got McGovern in the goal square, Mackay working up the ground. It's got to be the guy that executes. And then my issue with Kemp, I don't think he executes. I don't think he's got it in him. Edwards has got ruthlessness. You know he kicks goals. So I'm just saying, from a Carlton point of view, take it as it will. I would be more scared if I see Edwards Caddy, and May, then if I see May Caddy, I'll be like, okay, Langford we can contain, May we can contain. Caddy's going to be a bit of a nightmare, but if we take away the goal options, happy days.
I mean, they had a beautiful, beautiful thing going in their infancy of their trio in the Melbourne and Gold Coast game. And then we decided to just, for no reason whatsoever, take Tommy Edwards and put him on a wing. Oh, all right, who are you giving your half a Twix to? Chat, who's getting a half Twix? Who deserves half a bit more? Who was a bit stiff to not get any or deserved a little bit more? Tell us, Pom. I am on the fence between two. I know it's not Peter Wright before you all yell at me, although he could easily get a half extra.
I'm going to give 0.5 to Peter Wright.
Well, you only gave him 3, so no.
No, the reason I want to give him it as well is because genuinely, if you told me 6 weeks ago this guy has locked down ruck forward role, and he's basically like going to Timu for Luke Jackson, I would have laughed at you. But
so true.
Timu Luke Jackson. Go ahead, Timu Luke Jackson.
Do you know what? I'm number one supporter. You all know this, and even I am shocked at what he is producing. Even I did not believe, which is like shame on me. I should be punished for that because honestly, yeah, shocking that I didn't believe. This is even surprising me. And then I thought, Bryan coming in, that's going to interrupt his momentum, interrupt his rhythm, but he's in that good a form. He's like, not today. Not today. No one is interrupting the form I'm in because I am the big boy here and I'm in charge of my own destiny. And the Mind Palace is strong for Peter Wright. All right, I'm giving my halfer to Archie Perkins because
you see, I was tempted. I was tempted by the Perks.
My other tempted one was Blakiston, because I thought he had a really, really great game. And basically it's coming both of them off their base levels. I just thought that they both stood up in very big ways. So I think
love you.
Moby, are you saying she's off again on the Peter Wright train? Sorry, I apologise, but I'm just so happy for him because, my gosh, when you really like a player, it's like your brain. The universe says, all right, well, I'm going to show you all the rhetoric about said player. And I just saw so much disgusting discourse about him, and some of it warranted 100%, but I just saw people sending him to Siberia with no clothes and no sunscreen and no food, and it was hard to internalize, and I'm just so happy for him. So that's why. But my point is Archie Perkins deserves the half because really happy for what he showed us.
I do think we are making it up. It's 2 metre players. I actually think it's 195 because you did wax lyrical about Nate Caddy and he's 195, so that might be.
Thank you, Pom. Thank you, Pom.
It might be, like roller coasters, there's like a certain height to ride. Yours is at 195.
You just watch when a small forward who grabs my heartstrings comes along, I'll be putting a very big dent in this theory. You all watch.
I'm pretty sure Roby's about 195 as well, so we can't even bail you out there.
No, Dyson Sharp, hello. Dyson Sharp interrupts that theory already. Yeah. He's my other guy. You all know that.
Do you go mental? I mean, he's close to 190, so maybe it's 190. We'll get to the bottom of it, chat.
No, you won't.
How big's Cax? Cax has got to be 2 centimeters tall, isn't he? 175, I'd guess.
177, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's tiny, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So I say, oh my gosh, how quickly I've forgotten him. Sorry, Cax. I really didn't mean to forget.
There's always an outlier, isn't there? There's always an outlier.
Hey, the heart wants what the heart wants. All you got to do is you got to show something, and all of those guys have showed something. So, it's exciting. This one's been exciting. I don't think it doesn't mean we're going to win many games, but the future is there, And now we just got to make sure we put all our resources into developing this young talent. No point getting 35,000 Rising Star nominations if we can't develop them, right? So, all right, Pom.
Well, that was fun.
That was fun. Thank you so much for joining us as usual. Chat, thank you for being legends. You're right, Footy Refined. We forgot to bring back the Davey boys. I know. Everyone kept telling me.
For us at the minute in the VFL.
You what?
We've got Alwyn playing for us in the VFL at the minute.
Alwyn, is he? No.
Yeah. Yeah, legit.
Alwyn Davies playing for Carlton VFL? No way.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
No, he's not. Since when?
We signed him at the start of the year, yeah.
You did not. That's not true. You're lying to me.
Yeah, look, I'll send you it. Look, just in case you think I'm lying.
I think you're lying. You put it on the share the screen. Thank you. That's.
No,
did anybody else know this?
Well, it won't let me. Here, look, I'll do it this way.
Thanks, Fitzy.
Yeah, you did.
No, this is not correct.
I remember because everyone asked. Like, here.
Oh my God! Why did I not know that? I'm a bit disappointed with myself. And so, how's he going? More importantly, how's he going?
From memory, I do not believe he has debuted yet. I remember he had like a little niggle at the start of the preseason.
Yeah, I'm the same Bombers Rockets fan. I knew Jaden was. Where's Jaden at? Is he in Port Melbourne too?
Yeah, I think he's Port Melbourne. I think he's Port Melbourne.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why I didn't know.
Well, from memory, I believe he's got a little niggle. I think he started pre-season late, but I do remember everyone asking me in Carlton, "Oh, was Davey any good for Essendon?" And I was like, "He's like Ben Silvani levels for Essendon." So it's like we've got.
That's probably not a good measure for all of us for everyone in the chat and watching because they probably don't know how good he is.
I can safely say, Andrew, if she did see my whole screen, currently I've got coaches' votes open, and then I've just got the AFL stat sheet. There's nothing nefarious on the work laptop.
Well, that's a bit boring. Yeah, I agree,
Moby.
Sorry,
I'm sorry, I'm not here watching Sasha Gray while we're doing this video chat.
Fair enough. He'd get me cancelled and shadow banned and all that jazz. And there's already enough people trying to do that coming after me. So thank God for that. I agree, Moby. Bins did have a nice little game up there on the wing.
How is my Binsy going? Is he all right?
He's going all right offensively. Very, very astute. Jaden is at the Saints VFL now. I thought they're trying to sign Wanganeen. Did they end up signing Wanganeen? I think they did. Yeah, you're right, Pixel. Pom's got multiple screens, so he just didn't share that screen with us, right?
Look, I'll be honest. I didn't. Look, I promise you, I haven't got. And I'll be honest, I've got multiple screens, but on all my screens,
I'm just kidding.
I've got count and stats there from the show, right?
Yeah, no, that's as bad. We don't want to borrow that.
You've seen me look at this screen a lot. This is all my Essendon stuff, and then I've got Fiona there.
Isn't it beautiful that he's got an Essendon screen? Doesn't that just make you warm and fuzzy inside?
I promise. If I was looking at something dodgy, I would happily tell you.
Thank you, Footy Refined. Texted he didn't make the list. Was in contention but didn't make the cut. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's a bit of Pom panic, Adam. Yep. I thought, don't they say when you start when you get too defensive, that means that you're lying?
Oh, if you think I'm doing something dodgy, that's okay.
I mean,
that's okay.
Wouldn't bother me either.
Greg, Coventry City, shout out. I used to go to a lot of Coventry games when I was at university. Good mate of mine, Brad, was a massive Coventry fan who I roomed with, and we used to go every other week. So I know he is absolutely stoked. It'd be a great away day, that, because the Coventry fans are mental. Good times.
Good times. Oh, Scooter, did he really? Jaden in one game recently kicked 5 goals. Good on him. Good on him.
Why are you talking about the less good brother?
No, he was supposed to be the better one, but he was injured, and we never really gave him probably as much of a chance as we should have. But we were in our glow-up era, and if we don't do this and this and this, we probably don't get Roby, Sharp, Caddy, Roberts. That's it. It's all connected. So you've got to give up something to get something. So, all right, everyone, let's get out of here. Let's Pommy go. Thank you so much, Pom. We'll see you next week, Monday night, for the Freo game. Ooh, that's going to be potentially painful, but we'll be here cracking some jokes and making light of it all so we don't just cry ourselves to sleep. Thank you, chat. Thank you so much for being here. Please hit the like and subscribe if you haven't on your way out. You'll get your preview tomorrow night and then see you Thursday night for the team selection show. Thank you so much for all the love as well. It has been much appreciated. I appreciate all of you. Have a good rest of the week. Bye.
Bye.